Hello everyone, this is Obi-Wan Pez, back with Banished. Unfortunately my second video had a bit of a problem with it, so the town of Edgewoodburn has advanced quite a bit from where we were when you last saw it. I believe we only had 11 adults, something like that, and a fair number of kids. Well, in the second video we ended up with about 16 adults, 4 students, and some number of kids after that. Alright, and let me start it up. That's 16 adults, 4 students, and 8 children. We're doing okay. We are currently in the winter of the 5th year, and let's see, this is the market. It's coming along pretty nicely. The quarry has been built, or it's almost been built down here, and we have our walnut orchard, and the crop fields that we had last time are starting to look pretty good. Have a cemetery over on the side which has not been completed yet, but still working on it. Sorry, I'm just getting paranoid. I want to make sure it's actually recording again. Of course, this is part of the problem with only having one monitor. Yeah, and the bridge to the northern section has been built. I did try to switch to push-to-talk, so this might be a little bit different, and apologies if I'm like gesticulating wildly at something and you don't actually hear anything. I will try and make sure that I'm actually doing something right. Alright, and we have a tavern now. We do have 42 ale, which is going to keep people pretty happy, and 61 wheat has been relegated to making a new crop of ale for next season. The stockpile, storage barn, hunting cabin, and forester lodge are all working just fine down this way. And again, everything is now sending all of their goods, or will be sending all of their goods to the market via a vendor. So as long as we have a vendor put on active, then we will end up having all sorts of cool stuff. I did add a secondary hunting cabin up north, just so that in case the deer were going up there instead of coming down to the bottom, we might be able to get some clothing out of this. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're in the middle of winter, so I don't want to send people on long journeys. Well, apparently Mine is trying to find someplace warm, because she's been out in the middle of the woods for the rest of the day. And of course these deer are parked right outside of the hunting cabin radius. This kind of out of the way stuff will get going once we hit spring. So the mine out here, cemetery is not quite as important. The stone houses I could probably do now, and the hunting cabin definitely want to wait until it's warmer. Alright, can get that vendor in here. Take out the tailor because we don't actually have any hides yet. Another of our kids has become a student. Woodcutter's still going to work until they've got 200 chopped wood, and then go do something else. Zania is extremely unhappy. And with early spring comes all the farmers. Jumped the gun a little bit on the farming. So working in the orchard is not quite happening yet. Still got to get through another maybe few days in this season. Yep, there it is. Blacksmith's still working on iron tools. This is working out pretty well. Get the builders on the quarry next. Probably going to work on the stone house, but it depends on when all of the goods get gathered. Usually the laborers are going to continue putting goods in the stone house, although there aren't any laborers at the moment. Actually, second thought, keep the quarry, because that can be done in winter time. Get them working on something that's farther away. Yeah, I'm just getting paranoid. It's fine. Okay, now I just made it worse. That's gonna be unfortunate. Okay, cool. So, pro tip, don't run it in window mode. Have the laborers come out here and collect stone if they're not terribly busy. Had another student join the ranks of workers. have the tailor come back, taking off one of our foresters because we have a pretty decent amount of logs. So one should be sufficient for now at least, especially with the other people. Our laborers up top chopping down some trees to make room for the hunting lodge. I got somebody up here taking out some of the stone. Got enough surplus tools for now, we can probably take off the blacksmith. I have said it before, this is a very relaxing sort of game. If you want to turn up the simulation speed, you can always do that down here. I'm just not doing it. Alright, looks like we're finally getting that stone put in for this stone house. Alright, got some people working on the stone house. Get one person working on this. Get some more ale going. Alright, got that stone house up. It is likely that this young couple will fill it. And it's also likely that I will need another one pretty soon in order to make sure that another young couple here, Valen and somebody else, will enter into that house as a family. Collect some more stone up here. Now let's cancel that removal for a second so that they start on this stockpile here. So then we can return everything very quickly to the same place. Then they won't have that two-step process of returning it back to the previous stockpile and then bringing it all the way back over here. This will allow them to just dump stuff here and not have a problem with it. Alright, halfway with the stockpile. Just gotta knock down a whole bunch of trees and pick out a whole bunch of stone. Alright, good. Got another builder coming on here. And second one here. I mean, I know it's a long way out here to hike out, but at the same time, those two ladies did like 2 units of work and then left. That's just kinda... what the hell? She decided to go idle and then decided to go right back and work again. So those of you who have other access to other crops, might be helpful just to note that, you know, walnuts are great for food, but they don't do a whole lot else. You can't make an ale out of walnuts, nor beans, but the wheat fields can be turned into ale directly. Also, any berries that are found out in the woods, unfortunately berries come in small supply, so I prefer to use them as food unless we have a strong food source, which we do, but at the same time the computer tends to prioritize berries as food. Alright, I'm going to let this hunting cabin work until end of summer, and then I think I'm going to cut the work here and move them to the other one. Beans are just about ready to harvest, and they're starting now. And builders have nothing to work on, so move them directly to farmer. Again, you could, in theory, just let them figure it out and let them go where they need to go, but I prefer putting extra people, at least at this point, because I have so few people. I prefer moving them around manually. Alright, orchard's starting to pull and harvest. It appears to be a basket of mushrooms, but I don't know. Yep, bingo. Carrying ale to a completely different part of town. Move on from the orchard over to the bean field because that will take a significant hit after frost, whereas the walnuts will not. I am keeping one herbalist in place despite the fact that we are topped up on herbs. It's just so that if anybody does get sick, they can go over there and heal up, and so it won't be as much of an issue. Allegedly, you need to have someone there in order for people to actually use the herbal medicines, so hooray. Laborers just leaving stone all over the place. That's alright. Gonna unpause this stone house in just a minute. I'm not sure exactly what this means. The materials required to perform work on the tavern are not available. He's got 58 wheat, so I assume that that means that he needs at least 60 wheat in order to actually make a batch, but we'll see. Nope, apparently not. I don't know exactly which resources he pulled, but alright, we'll make it work. Let's see what he picks up. So I'm really confused as to what's going on there, but we'll go with it. We assigned 2 builders to put up that stone house. Let's trade over these crops. Again, it probably doesn't matter, but, you know, I just like to try out, see if rotating the crops makes any difference. Of course, I'm not comparing it to anybody, but whatever. 19 adults, 7 students, 4 kids. Apparently the walnuts have about 7% of the yield just kind of left out there, so I don't know if that's going to get picked up. We'll see. Doesn't appear like it. Alright, I guess we'll call it for the season. "16-year-old's the teacher." Alright, cool. Iron being low isn't a problem. We get these huge deposits right around the town still. Probably do need a physician at some point soon. Alright, get some stone cutters in this quarry. Late winter again. Got a deer whisperer over here, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to be pulling 2 foresters, 1 stone cutter, probably the 2 builders that are there, all for farming, so that'd be good. Alright, so having 2 on each of the fields and orchards feels pretty good here. Alright, let's have them finally collect all this iron over here. And we can also get some trees back in there when the foresters come through. Alright, well those deer know exactly where to stop. That's kind of frustrating. Alright, made it up to 20 adults with 6 students, 6 kids. Alright, got all 3 of my laborers right here. Alright, maybe let's get started on this mine over here. Reserve of logs is running low, mostly because I've only got 1 forester going out. Ushilda is also going to be planting trees to replace all the ones that I took out. Yep, there we go. Not all the trees I took out, sorry, the iron deposits that I took out. So the trees are now going to replace those locations. May have to clear this out as well and put in another lumber camp at some point. Alright, so I might as well just take off the brewer and the tailor for a minute. Have them build some roads. All the stuff down here over by the mine. So we'll just cordon off a little rectangle here and see how that works. Beans are almost done, it's not even the end of summer. Alright, she just brought 1 log. That's not very helpful. Increase priority on that house, get it up. Might as well do that one too. That could be helpful. Just not right now. drop the woodcutter for now. Alright, increase farming to get everything pulled down for winter. Alright, so now we're going to increase the food limit, make sure that they can actually harvest. I was hoping it wouldn't just let food rot in the field, but apparently it would have. Add the brewer back in so we can pull some of the wheat for the beer. This is great. We got a whole bunch of deer right next to the food. And just outside of the range of the hunting cabin. It's not like it's a big problem, it's just kind of annoying. Alright, I'll put that one on hold, and the others will dump into the other fields. We have one extra person, which will go to laborer. As soon as the orchard hits 0, those 4 people will come off, and I'll put them to work in the quarry, I think. Alright, bump a few people back onto forestry and stone cutting. Get my woodcutter back. I don't know what it's going to take to get 2 stone over here to this. It's just a little ridiculous. Alright, there we go. So, pump up some builders on this one. Not like anybody's coming down here with stone anyway, but, you know, might as well just pause it. Mini the stone cutter is crushed by a rock. Great. Alright, so unfortunately, looks like we're gonna have to expedite that cemetery. All that iron can get to the market, maybe the stockpile, and all the logs will also go there. Alright, early spring. Let's start getting these fields back going again. I think this next winter is going to be the perfect time to activate the tailor and blacksmith again. Get this last stone house up. Alright, throw another stone house in there. Add some more farmers. Now, you know what? They need to come out. Need more stone cutters. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing where all of the stone went. Oh, right, never mind. Alright, 25 working adults, 2 students, and 8 children. Let's also collect some stone out this way while we have a time here. Just get those real quick. Berries and onions. Breakfast of champions. Alright, beans are just about to max out again, and then the wheat again get pretty close, and then the walnuts after that. Back the tailor off, as we do have almost 50 clothes. Alright, let's back a couple people off Stonecutter and make them build. Probably enough tools for now. I got 47. Get some extra farmers while we got some time for the laborers to do not a whole lot. Alright, cemetery's up and running. Builders are coming over to the stone house. Alright, one more increase on the food limit to 8,000. I'll bring it down once everything has been harvested. Alright, get the laborers to start working on the mine, move the builders back. Alright, we're at 0, but we have a little bit of a bar left, which means there is some work to be done here. Alright, I'm using all those farmers to increase the number of stonecutters, the number of hunters, foresters, in order to get more people working on stuff. And I think that this will about do it for tonight. So, setting up an early winter, I'm going to have that quarry. Nope, sorry. The mine is going to be worked on. Hopefully we'll have all the stone next time. We've got 25 adults, 4 students, and 7 children, so we're doing alright. That'll do it for this episode of F It, Let's Start Over. Just so everybody knows, the future of the channel here, at least the future of this particular segment, I'm planning on continuing with some other RTSs that usually involve starting over. So, for instance, Factorio or Terraria or others like that. I am interested in doing those. I am probably going to finish Banished, or at least do a few more years worth of Banished before that actually happens. But I hope you all have a good night, and I will see you later.